Hello, friends. Welcome in. How are you today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let me lower the music. And let me double check that everything is working, and then we will begin. In the meantime, how are you? What have you been up to today? Let's see. Okay. Okay, I think we are good to go. Welcome in, everybody. How are you today? Too much to bear. Welcome in. How are you, Bear? Ammers, hello. Yimit, welcome in. Lego, hello. How are you all? How's it going? Anytime I hear that, there's always a I played tomorrow's the last day for Mayhem. I played a little bit of Mayhem late last night. And I had a really good game as Kaisa. A very good game. I had the Infinity Edge upgrade, and then the rest were just the ones that increase your attack range. And actually, I had another great game as Kaisa with the opposite. I went with the upgrade that had your melee now. That was fun. That was like hectic though. I was like chasing down legends with my E to like speed boost up to them to try to hit them a few times. Anyway, it was fun. We won both of those. Bear, welcome in. Hello, how are you? By the way, what were you in YV stream yesterday? You said, have you asked him yet? And I was not sure what you meant. What were you thinking? Lego, how are you though? The test? Oh. I don't know if I ever said I would ask him to take the test. But he ended up taking it on his own. I think at no point did I think, even yesterday, like before his stream, did I think if I ask him to take the test, will he take the test? I don't think he would have. In fact, by the way, the second I sent that, I passed out. Okay, yeah, because I asked you, I was like, what do you want me to ask? I was like, I had commented or replied to you and said, what was that? I'm not sure what you're referring to. And then you never responded, so I was like, maybe he went to sleep. Yimit with the 220 stream streak. That is wild. Way to go, Yimit. Keep it up. You're crushing it. That is wild. No, I had a feeling that I was like, if I were to ask YV to take the test, he would just say no. He'd be like, I'm not interested. In fact, I even just tried to, like, before stream, I tried sharing a couple of things of my results, and he was wholly uninterested. And it wasn't, though, until I mentioned something about. Oh, I said actually before you showed up though, Bear. I had said because he knew about the test because I had messaged him. I sent him, or I said, oh, I had mentioned the test I took during stream, and I was like, while I was taking that test and while we were talking about it on my stream, Bear was trying to guess what you would be, and then Rothy came in, and I guess he had been lurking in yesterday's stream and took the test, and so he was like, oh, by the way, I'm a 9. And Hannah, welcome in. Well, no, he took it. He took it on his own. He's already taken it. He posted it on his Discord. So we'll get to that. I'll tell you his results in a second. But Rothy came in and was like, "Oh, I took the test. And he was a 9. What's the test? I love a test. The Enneagram. Have you ever taken it, Hannah? And then, no? Here, hold on. I have 2 links for you. Here's the first link. You need to take this one first. And then take this one. And tell us the numbers you get. Love of personality. Yeah, same. We were talking a bunch about it yesterday, and we probably might still do that today. Sounds good. I want to hear what your results are. So then, Bear, more people, then a couple of people from YV's community wanted to take the test. So we sent the link, and they took it, and then they were sharing. A couple of them shared their results. And then, at the end of, and at no point, well, like, I will say YV, in hearing people's stuff, still was very, like, I would say, reluctant and critical. Maybe he was like, this just sounds like a horoscope. This is just like, he was very just like kind of poking fun of it, I guess, which is fine. That's fair. Some people hate personality tests. I kind of figured he might be someone like that. But anyway, he ended up taking it on his own after stream. I didn't ask him. No one asked him to. He just took it. I asked him. I was like, "Why did you take it?" I was like, "What made you want to take it?" And he said, "Oh, just like participating in some this." You got this, Hannah. You got this. It's like an official test. The second one only has like 20 questions or something. Back at 3 to 5. No, you got this. Funny because my friend is type 9 and he's very different from YV. Well, I wonder, so YV took the wing test and I believe he is a 9 wing 1. A wing 8 is different. And could be in oh yeah, you said $100 and he won't take the test. I totally forgot about that. Look, when I start that Australia trip donation, I'll bring this up again, Bear. I'm gonna bring this up. But so he is a 9 wing 1, which is like the peacemaker or something like that. Well, I first said he wouldn't take it, but then I said I bet he's an 8. That's right. Okay, sometimes, or wait, no, I think 9s are the Peacemaker, 9W1s, 9 Wing 1 is the Dreamer. What's funny, though, just a fun fact, Bear, because I think you'd like this. A 9 Wing 8 is known as the Comfort Seeker, but also the Bear, which is funny. But I asked him to look at both of them and to read the fears and desires of both and see which one he aligns with. I'm going to guess that it is the 9 Wing 1. I read through it, and there was a lot that I was like, I definitely see YV here. There are a lot of things that I think ring very true from things he has said to me that I'm like, this seems like a great explanation for how, like, his, what he has said in the past or how he handles things and whatever. I'm pretty confident he's probably a 9 Wing 1. But he's very non-confrontational. And a lot of it I think is him wanting to like keep things. He wants his peace. He wants that. I think that's very important to him. It is interesting because like I can see because I'm a 2 Wing 1 and he's a 9 Wing 1. I can see where like there's some overlap, but in how we are like and how it's different, I guess. Like I think I guess 1s are considered to be very like principled or something like that. Is they have their values and they like hold firmly to that. I think that shows like it kind of I think what it does is it increases the intensity of like our main traits. So like I'm very relational and relational in a very like personal way and very like I mean it's called this the 2 Wing 1s are called the servant or whatever, so it's like it's a loyalty ride or die sort of like intensity. I think it's because of the 1 is because of that, and I think that's the way the chart works. And then there's like I could like because he's a 9 Wing 1, his like the harmonious wants peace and whatever is that's like because he's in a 1 makes that very principled, like it's very that's something that is very valuable and a major priority to him, and he doesn't really like anything that takes away from that. Where as same thing where I'm like anything that takes away from me being able to help, be valuable to someone, help someone, talk to them, all that's then if anything is going up against that, then I'm like, well, now I hate everything. So yeah, I think that's sort of like, well, and like because it's interesting because like I think 2 Wing 1s are considered to be the introverted, and that's okay. So here's also the thing that people need to remember. And I didn't say this to YV because I didn't expect him to take the test. I will have to say this to him. The like personality tests, they're a tool they're not going to get you 100% perfectly. It's more of like the best way to take a personality test is to take it and then like look it over and analyze and like ask yourself the question, does this part, like read a part and say, does this describe me? Where does it not describe me? Or how does it not, how and where is it correct? And then get somebody else to look at it and maybe shed some light if you need the extra help or something. Because like I would agree overall I'm a 9-wing-1, but everything that like you read, I'm sorry, a 2-wing-1. I'm so bad with the numbers. I'm going to get them confused. I'm a 2-wing-1. Everything you read about them is always like they're very introverted. I'm like, I'm not introverted. But like a 2-wing-3, so the opposite side, is known as the host. And that's supposed to be then like the extroverted. That one's maybe more live to please. I mean, maybe that's like a combination of both, but like it's 2-wing-3 is like live to please a group, or like, because that's what, again, if imagine, I guess that's why it's called the host, is like they want to bring a community together, they want to connect people, network, and I'm good at like networking people, but like my higher priority is like, you know, I want to, you know, I'm not as concerned about appealing to the group. I'm more about individuals and like having the close friendships, and instead of like, you know, bring everyone together. But like, from a different perspective, I am more extroverted because I am energized by the one-on-one interactions or two-on-one interactions. So anyway, so it's like, you know, so as I read through my results, I'm like, yes, I think this part is accurate. This part is not. You know, I think also obviously you need to try to have an objective. You need to try to have an objective perspective when reading it, because it's because a lot of these tests have like negative things, you know, or things that may not sound the best. It's important to have an objective outlook so that you could say, is this actually me? Okay, it is. Even though that's maybe a weakness of mine or a pain point or whatever, you know, this can still be accurate. And that's fine. That's the, I think, helpful bits about a personality test is, and also again, that's one of the like, I think a marker for like a really good personality test, or a better one, is if it highlights negative aspects about yourself. Because if a personality test only tells you positive things about your personality, likely it is not very accurate. It is likely something just made to make you feel good about yourself. Toon, welcome in. Did you? I can't remember. Yeah, you did. You're the Bohemian. That's right, I remember. Boop. We're still talking about the Enneagram 24 hours later. Toon, how are you? But yeah, so, okay, so you finished the first test, type 5. Make sure you take the wing test as well, Hannah. But now I am curious. I want to pull up what a 5 is. On it. Excellent. I'm very curious. Type 5 gang? right, that's the investigator. Okay. Yeah. So take the wing test, and that'll help kind of narrow things down a little bit. Or it might. Some people could be just directly in the middle, and it just be, I am a big number. Bear, I thought about, I was like, I wonder if there'd be any benefit to like, I was like, maybe I could get a cross community thing where like YV's community and my community, we take the test, and then like 5 wing 6, and then like I will like help like ask everyone to send in the results beforehand, plot it on a chart. I've done this before actually with another personality test. And then like, you know, help people understand. Hold on. So okay. Where is all of this? 5 wing 6. Have you looked at that page? And do you think some of it sounds accurate? The Enneagram, 5 wing 6. The problem solver. Yes. Okay. The problem solver is a subtype, which means that the suspicion and deep observation of the 6s is added to the naturally logical way of thinking of the 5s. And that way, oh wait, this is also Bear's personality, right? Because I remember it said, and that way it seems that the subtype is ready to play the Sherlock Holmes character at any time. We love that. 5 wing 6s are very intuitive people with the ability to read others to stay always a step ahead. They are rational and logical and love to think of new ways to do things. And they do it well, too. They go all in when it comes to decision making, which doesn't mean they take risks. They will actually thoroughly analyze the scenario and take every possibility into account before taking any steps. Jumping into the void is not their style. The 2 types in this mix are both members of the head triad, so they take things seriously and tend to overthink them. They're spontaneous when facing real-life challenges, but they don't leave loose ends. They connect the dots and seek truth. One of the most distinctive aspects of this subtype is that they are usually quite smart and clever and use their intelligence to protect themselves and detect possible threats. I've seen those altar plays. We've seen the altar plays. This all comes about in your Apex streams. This permanent state of alarm makes them very reactive, though, and sometimes a bit defensive, too. Despite being independent, they also need love and protection, which can be contradictory. However, these opposing forces are what make them shine. I love looking at also the basic fear and basic desire. I feel like that is usually very, like, indicative of things. Hearing some of this description and remembering you're an Apex player. Exactly. That's very funny. Cause yeah, I mean, so Hannah, I am a 2 wing 1, which is the servant. And as I read through it, I was like, I'm feeling attacked, but wait, it just, no, I think it works. I mean, I was joking more about that, but I do think like you, I mean, I feel like you do have to be clever and smart to play certain characters and to do them well, to analyze different situations. It is interesting. It would actually be fun for like if there was like an Apex 3-stack, if they all took the test to see if they can like notice how like how each person plays differently based on their personality, you know? Yeah, you are. Yeah, Bear, you're also 5 wing 6. So you and Hannah, same personality type. And there's also like, I was thinking about this, like just because somebody has a personality type, and it could be similar, the causes of that, the like way someone responds to that, which parts of their personality are considered like healthy or unhealthy, can like impact all of that. So like um uh so yeah, so like there are aspects of growing up when I read the two wing one where I'm like, oh, I'm like, I wonder if, my upbringing uh, influenced my personality to like a major degree. I think so. But like, there's like a, um, like if you start getting into personality test stuff, that, you can start to analyze even more like, okay, well, what are the unhealthy aspects of this personality type? What are the healthy thing? Like, how does a healthy two-wing one interact with conflict? How does an unhealthy two-wing one interact with conflict? How does what are the so like you can so there are a ton of different variations, as well as it's not like a um uh compatibility test either. It's like um because if everyone was the exact same, or if you were like in a friend group where everyone is the exact same, you're all going to have the same problems. It doesn't mean like you're going to necessarily get along better, because of like if everyone were nines, everyone would probably just ignore all of the problems, but nothing would ever get better, everyone would just pretend that everything is fine. um and then I can't remember which ones are like the more like conflict, like head on bold ones. That might be like a 7 or a 6 or something, I can't remember. um but then if you have that, then it's just like people could be trying to bulldoze each other, like, it could just be a whole thing. So you kind of need, the whole spectrum of people there. Um, Supposedly, if you take like, so this is the test that we took is like a free version. It is not what is considered the full version of the test. And a lot of times with those, you have to like pay for the test. You also pay for like someone who's like trained in the test to like administer it. That's why a lot of businesses do it, because it's sort of like a corporate, they could get a good deal on a bunch of people taking the test in one time and whatever. But in on the website, you will see that it has like cross lines going across the circle. If you take the like big test, the main test, they can tell you like sometimes you might have what's called like a triad or something, where it's like this is now the personality types that are like there's maybe like I see it almost like what's it called in color theory? Is it also called a triad? It might. Where it's like there are numbers that then like you point to from that are like across from yours that like connect in some different way. But like I don't think this website gets into it. But anyway, but yeah, exactly. It's more about functioning and learning how to interact with others. I think that's the best way to use also this test. Apart from the self introspection and like self-analyzation of it, which again I think everyone should do. I think you should read the results. Again, ask yourself the question, paragraph by paragraph or sentence by sentence, does this describe me? Does this not describe me? Get somebody to look at it and say, yeah, that it describes you, or no, that doesn't describe you, or I don't see that in you. But then also, like, if you know other people's, you can like read about them, ask them what they thought of their results, and then like you can kind of learn how to better communicate with them, interact with them, know, what they're like. If you know what somebody is like, what because it breaks it down into fears and desires. If you know those things about someone, you can know how to better, like have like a deeper conversation with them, or like, care for them or whatever. So like, it's all about that. I think that is the two like best ways to use personality tests. Learn about yourself, but also learn about how to like work with other people better. With the DISC personality test, this was before I moved to Alaska, but I had a friend group where I got like everyone to take the DISC personality profile, and then I asked them all to send me the results, and then one night we like we got pizza or something. We made food or something. I lived in the South. I hopped around a little bit, but I was in the South. But yeah, I've lived here for like over 15 years now, so it was a long while. So I got everyone to take the test. Then one night we got pizza, and before the night, I got them all to send me the results. I then made a PowerPoint presentation where I showed on brand. Yes, this I think is part of the two where I went above and beyond, because I was like, this seems important. But I made a PowerPoint presentation where I like showed where everyone's results. I explained what each person's like. I did like an overview. The DISC is a lot more general, I would say, in some ways. It's easier to go over since like the Enneagram has 9 numbers. The DISC has only 4 things you really need to explain, and then everything is plotted on a chart. So then, or of those 4 things. So it's like, it's simpler. So I went through and I explained all 4 things. If I were to do the Enneagram, I probably wouldn't do that. I would kind of I would look at the results and then be like, I'm only going to talk about the numbers that are relevant. But I then I made a chart showing like where all of them fall. People got to see, like how they related to the other people in the group. It was very funny. Oh, I did that one. Do you remember what yours was? Not the PowerPoint. I go above and beyond with this type of stuff. I'm like, it's also known as the Lion Otter Retriever Beaver test. I don't know if that helps you. If that helps you recall anything, Hannah. Nope. Okay, never mind. I want, based on you being a 5. I mean, you could be a lion or beaver, maybe, or both. But that'd be my guess based on the description. But they don't necessarily like translate to the Enneagram, so I don't really know. What was I gonna say? Oh, but it was very funny because like, when I did the PowerPoint, at some point I put my results. Oh, I also I also print. So they sent me the PDFs of their because the test that we took, it sent them a PDF. I asked them to send me. I asked them to send me their PDFs. I printed them all out, stapled them, so I handed their packets to them. Anyway, at some point in the PowerPoint, I displayed my results, my charts on it. And one of them, big teacher energy. I see. Okay. Oh, then you're me. So we're both retrievers then, which I think I could see that. I could definitely see that as well. Oh wait, no, that's Beaver. I'm an S. I apologize. So then I was correct because I said you'd probably be like a beaver, or a lion, or something. So yes, that makes sense. C's are more like organizational, tend to like processes. If there's not a process, we'll make a process. Tend to be more like task oriented. Get things done, very efficient type of personality. Which I would say that makes sense. Conscientious, yes. I could see that being. Steadiness, yes. Task oriented, yuck. But that's a good thing. I am being efficient. Gross. No, I should be more task oriented. I am not. I did that for my CPA course, and most of us were C's. I could that you see because there's a lot of like, you know what? Hold on. Does it say? It says at the bottom of the 5-Wing-6 page. It says the most common jobs for 5-Wing-6s are professors, computer programmers, accountants, mathematicians, biologists, technician, physicist, engineer, basically anything that allows them to challenge their mind, broaden their limits, and become an expert in their field. And as goal-oriented and organized as they are able to create a whole new world. Beaver, that makes sense. That makes sense, Spare. Well, oh, but I was going to say, finishing the thought with the friend group that I had. One of them, so I put my scores on this or like my charts and numbers and stuff on the PowerPoint, and one of my friends was like, "Those are your results?" And I was like, "Yeah, these are mine." And she's like, "We have the exact same numbers." And it was true. And what's funny is her boyfriend was my best friend. And she was like, afterwards, she was like, it makes sense now that I think about it, like, why he probably enjoys spending time with you and why we're dating is because he really likes, like, people that have this, like, these traits, or he values these traits, or whatever. So it was, like, really cool to then, like, analyze how people in the group kind of, like, function together and, like, you know, how we all sort of complement each other. And, you know, because then there were other people who were like very opposite of me and who were like way more authoritative and leader, you know, anyone could be a leader, but like more people who are like prone to leadership and want to take charge and that kind of stuff. So like we had like a pretty diverse group of people, but it was cool to see like the little aspects of that. Apparently 2 and 5 are completely opposite. Is that what they say? That's very funny. Where does it say that? Or did you search for like differences between 2 and 5, or? I mean, you can even like there are enough people that make personality test. Oh, is there? Wait, no, 5-Wing 6. Like, competitive. I don't. Oh, maybe relationship and type combination. Ah. Ah, I see. Oh yeah, it says are complete opposites. Cindy is a type 7. I don't know what that is. I have so many tabs open right now. So many. All of the. I have every tab. I have every tab open. 7. The enthusiast, the multitasker, and cheerful. The one who thinks is getting late for somewhere. What? That sentence doesn't make any sense to me. The restless explorer. Type 7s always go after whatever makes them feel alive. They are like Pandora's box. No one knows what's coming next. Spontaneous, versatile, and highly stimulated 7s are up to new and intense things. Alex! ¿Cuál es el plan para hoy? I love that. I love that we're switching to Spanish. My goal for today is related to the title, which I find this is probably one of the best titles I have ever come up with. Mary Kate and Ashtwin Olsen. So we're going to Ashtwin today. But we're talking about the Enneagram still. I will say people that try to understand my feelings normally do scare me. Like when they ask, is that true for you as well? Hannah? Bailiff can't say, oh gosh. I just noticed that. The twins broke me. I have honestly avoided it because I've been on there twice before maybe. I hate the sand. It gets everywhere. What is it? I hate sand. Hold on. I want to look up 5 wing 6 or 7 wing 6. I'm not looking forward to it, honestly. I think I'm going to get just squished by the sand at all times. We one time we looked at the surface one day. That was early on, and then we went inside where there's the big tall open area, but I only exported a little bit. I didn't get very I was able to I looked at one area at the bottom and then I jumped all the way to the top. And because I knew that the time was because I was investigating the ship thing. So I need to figure out how I want to do all that. Anyway. You don't ask how I feel? Oh no, Hannah. You see, that's me. That's probably why it says that T's very opposite. Because I am somebody who's like, I mean, you could ask YV very much. I am somebody who's like, if Alex, have you ever taken the Enneagram? What do you think about personality tests? Is YV no, he is I believe he's a 9 wing 1. But like I'm just saying you could ask him if how I communicate, and one of the things that I feel like I ask him a lot is like, how do you feel about this? Or like what, I ask him a lot about, how do you feel about this? Or like what, you know, I ask him a lot about it's because I think my personality type, I care about people's emotions and I care about how people are feeling and if people are okay and all that. So like I can be very like nurturing in that way. So I think I tend to be kind of like I care about that stuff. So I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know what's what's going on. Tell like what's going on in that head of yours. What do I I'm very like that. So you don't wait. I think it's the most information heavy planet. Really, Ashtwin? Oh boy. If I'm saying I'm all right, I'm all right. There's nothing behind that. Are you sure about that? Tell me how that makes you feel, Bear. I really don't like them, but would not demean those who enjoy them. Fair. Believing them wholeheartedly is a different thing. Another example of horoscopes. I agree. I'm with you there. And that's the thing is, I was saying this yesterday. I even said this earlier. Like, to me, I think personality tests are just a tool. Like, they can be helpful. They have more merit than a horoscope, especially in that a good personality test will tell you negative things about your personality. If they only tell you positive things, I'm very distrusting of that because I don't think they're being very realistic. I don't think they're really helping you in a way. But I think the best way to like take a personality test is to take it, go through the result paragraph by paragraph or line by line if you want, and ask, is this true about me? Is this statement accurate? And then maybe showing that to someone who knows you well and have them say, yes, I see that, or no, or I don't really see that about you, or whatever. There were a long time ago, I took a test and I was like, I don't really see this about myself. And I showed it to a friend and they were like, no, you are 100% like that. I was like, really? And they were like, yes, that is, yeah, 100%. You are, this is a negative quality about you it does pop up. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. So like that part, I think like, and then again, I think, so like beyond then the self aspect, it can be good to like, then if you have someone else that you know very well take it, like using it as a way to then help you learn how to talk to them. But it's important to understand that like all of these are sort of broad strokes and the individual themselves can be unique within that result and might have nuances that don't explain it. For example, an easy thing to point out is the result that I got, which is a 2-wing 1. All of the results for it says that they're introverted. I'm not introverted. So like that's something that I would, if someone were like, oh, have you taken the Enneagram? And I'd say yes. If they were like really big into it, because some people are, and you can say I'm X number and they'll be able to know what you're talking about. I don't know what each number means off the cuff. I'd probably be like, yeah, but like I'm more outgoing and extroverted, but like these are the parts that really like resonate with me. But how come my 5-wing 6 and my C personally match so well with a Virgo? I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like horoscopes are, I don't know, way more general, I think. Yeah. Especially at work, when I'm at work, I'm focused. Let me get my work done. People come up and they're like, you look mad. Are you mad at me? No, I'm focused on work. And then next thing you know, they're mad for some reason because they think I'm mad at them. And now I'm slowing down my work because I'm very anxious. Oh no, Bear, I'm so sorry. What's funny is I am like that. I think I am the type of person to be like, are you mad at me? Is there something wrong? What's wrong? I wouldn't be mad, though. I would be sad. I would be like, oh, I've done something. They won't tell me what it is. I think you made a really good point yesterday that actually changed my mind. You said empathy only goes so far. What takes you further is what the person tells you themselves. Yeah, exactly. So I think there's value in a self-reported personality test. I think that's true. Because I don't think they're like... I think the broad strokes can be helpful in like a maybe like a impersonal work context where it's like you don't need to know the ins and outs. Like if I was in a corporate setting, honestly, again, I'm bad with numbers, so like the Enneagram numbers really hard for me to remember. I don't think that they wouldn't be that helpful to me. Maybe down the road, maybe if we keep talking about the Enneagram, I'll just start remembering what those things are. But like the DISC test, which I was like trained in and whatever, the fact that it's also lion, otter, retriever, beaver, I think those are really easy to remember because the animals themselves kind of have stereotype traits. It could be like helpful for the broad strokes in a non-personal corporate setting to be like, okay, this person is more of a retriever. That means that if I have a problem with them, I'm probably going to need to be softer in the conflict when I'm like approaching them. Or if they're a lion, I need to be way more direct in my communication. But like, because that's maybe more of like the why the broad strokes are there and why that's kind of like useful. But it's because I'm not really like, it's not important for me to like know them on a personal, like really close level. But in a, what I would say is like in friendships, in like friend groups or relationships or whatever, like it can be, I think it's more important to then actually like ask them like, well, how do you see this? Do you see this as accurate? Do you see this as, you know, like, you know, do you see this as true about you? Or like, it also can be a good thing to ask, like, how did you find the like, how did you find the questions? Did you find them hard to answer, easy to answer? Sometimes people just have trouble with the way the test is also administered, so their results might not be accurate. But like, you know, it's a conversation point, I think, is like, again, it's a tool. It's then like how you use it. Because I think if it was just like, oh, Hannah's this a 5. All right, 5-wing 6. What was that? See, I numbers 5-wing 6. Hannah's a 5-wing 6. Okay, that means she's this 100%, and I'm just not gonna question any of it, and I'm just gonna do that. That's not really helpful, I don't think. It's more about like, okay, well, you know, does, you know, how does she see the results? Does she think which parts does she think is accurate? Which parts does she think is not accurate? If, you know, it'd be fun, Hannah, if like you and Cindy like looked at both of each other, like looked at each other's results page, and then like said if you like see these traits in each other or whatever, like, you know, like it'd be interesting to see that kind of stuff. Like it's more about like, I don't know. I think that's the best way to do it. Because then also like, you know, at the bottom, and I don't know if like this site has the best breakdown of like communicating with each other. I think if you look up your types on Google, you can find different Enneagram sites that maybe have like a little bit more detail about like how to work with people of different number types. But like, for example, it says in communicating with the 5 wing 6, be clear and accurate, avoid mixing topics, and make sure you're amiable so they will feel even more comfortable to share their inputs. The like, I would say the key word there is also like being clear and accurate. That kind of that to me feels like they're trying to say like, I would imagine in like a business context, bring the facts, have the numbers, have like the stats for the conversation you're about to have. Whereas like with me, part of me is like, I understand why that's important. Like, obviously, if you're in a like business context, having the facts and numbers is good. In a general context, though, if you're talking to me, I want to know not just the facts. In fact, I almost care more about your feelings behind it. Why do you think this? Tell me about your day. I want to know everything else. Like, I want to know the, your thoughts. I want to know your feelings. Tell me about how you're doing. Are things okay at home? That helps me feel connected to someone versus like, and that's what I want. I don't necessarily care about all of the details of I'll get bogged down by all of the facts. Tell me other stuff. The thing is though, like, you guys know, Magical, welcome in. I love a mystery. I love to be a detective. And so the thing is that like I think I have learned to try to be more like, I'm a very feelings-based person by default. Like emotional, I'm a very emotionally charged. I'm a very I care about people's feelings, but I also like live based on feelings. But over time, I have learned to try to think through things. That has been something that I've had to specifically work on, where it's like, okay, I feel this way. I need to think about this. And so I've become more like, I've tried to become more logical. So I try to think through that. But a lot of times that's still through the lens of like being a very emotional person. And my emotions maybe guide me a bit more, and I have to stop and ask, okay, is this just my feelings? Let me think through this for a second. Let me be a little bit more introspective. So that's like, again, tools. Like, this is why it's a tool. Like, you can, you can see your blind spots and weak points, or this might shed some light on those things. And then again, that's why I think it's important to maybe get somebody that to like look at the results and say, yes, I do see this. No, I don't see this. Or that makes sense to me. Like, I could definitely see how, this weakness could be a blind spot of yours or something. But yeah, that's why I think that's why it's a they should be used as tools. If you just take it and it's like, I'm done and whatever, I don't think it's always very helpful, but I don't know. Come to think of it, you do give retriever energy. Yeah, I again, I think the like the image of a retriever in the like disc personality profile thing. The metaphor of it is like a retriever is relational. They are like, whereas like an otter is very outgoing and they want the group to love them and whatever. The retriever is maybe more loyal, and like singular focused, but it's the like driving trait is the steadiness that Hannah mentioned. And I think they say that like the main desire of a retriever is security. So like, and I can kind of see that in like, you know, retrievers and dogs in general can be kind of like, if the owner is away, a lot of times dogs get very like anxious and they're sort of like, but the routine has been shaken. And where is what happened? Where did you go? What's going on? So like they were saying like especially in like a business context or whatever, retrievers are someone that want security and want stability in their you know, in their world and environment. That's whereas like otters love the spontaneity, they love, you know, whatever. But like again, the animal parts of it are like broad strokes. The data analysis part of it is like, you are all of these things. You have traits of all four of the animals, or if you're looking at it from the animal perspective, there are letters and traits that correspond to each one. Just easier for people to remember the animals. You have traits of all these. It's just how like high on each scale are you, and where does that fall? Because like for people who've taken the lion, otter, retriever, beaver test, I would say I am a retriever otter. Like those are my highest scores. But my retriever is number 1. My otter is number 2. This is where I'm otterish. This is where I'm I'm very retriever. But then I'd say like this is where I'm kind of a lion. Like these are the traits that stand out from the lion personality that are more me. But you know, and again, also you adapt and change over time, and based on your environment, based on your friend group, based on your life situation. So like taking a test, and I would say maybe this is also where like horoscope is like, you were born on this time and so you are this forever. Whereas like you can change as you mature, and as your you know, situation changes, you'll see maybe like growth or things decrease in certain areas. The disc profile talks about how your numbers change based on also if you're like in a stressed environment, or when you get stressed, it looks at like what numbers change and all of that. I would assume the Enneagram, if you pay for a test, they probably have something like that. But yeah, that part's like, I don't know. I find it very interesting. But yeah, it's all a tool. I think it's how you use it. You know, personality tests are a tool. Don't be a tool using it. You know? Boo logic, yay feelings. You need both though. Nulgar, welcome back. How are you? Which is weird because I have an undying loyalty. Definitely otter vibes. Well, like, I mean, that's the thing is like, just because like, it's not that you can't have like twos that are logical, or it's not that you have, you know, like loyalty. For example, a 2, on the Enneagram, or 2-1 is considered to be like very loyal. But there are like other numbers and wings along the line that might say like, that might show them as that also might describe them as loyal, but it's like how they go about that is different than a 2-1. It's all like there are other aspects at play, because again, it's like, are you extroverted? Are you introverted? Are you someone who's more, feelings oriented? Are you more analytical? Are you somebody who like is more like just do you go by your gut? Or are you somebody who like is more, what's the word, like sensing, like you need to you have to see and you need the evidence, sort of like it's sort of it's how people go about maybe more calculated. That would make more sense. Like you're gonna have traits that are cross the board, but it's how do then your other traits maybe inform this. But thank you for the three stream streak. 2 a.m. pondering whether to go to bed or stick around a bit. Love it. We're currently talking about personality stuff. We'll get into the game here in a little bit. But if you need to go to bed, I totally understand. But I'm a night owl, so I would be like, the night is young. So yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I feel like, and I hope, if you take the Enneagram or if you take another personality test, I hope you guys can see it as a helpful thing, and not feel too pigeonholed or, or if you do, maybe take time to like analyze it and ask yourself, is this true? Is this not true? I mean, mine. Oh, and I was also going to say, rewind a long time ago. The whole thing about like Enneagram compatibility is like, I don't believe that any of these are like, just because a type is an opposite, that doesn't mean they're incompatible. It just means, I would almost argue that like you're going to run into more problems if you're similar. It's more just about like, again, the benefit of taking a test is like, well, now you can learn about the other person and you can maybe learn how to better communicate with them, or like where, or maybe why you're bumping heads at times, or what, like that's because now you can maybe then understand like how each other think, how you maybe what your fears are, what you desire, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's good to like look at those things. But let's see, where is the so like my results, I don't even know if we've read really through this yesterday, but the servant is a subtype, so that's mine. It's a 2-wing one. Which means that they are very concerned about other people's needs. The empathy that defines this type allows them to easily see when someone is suffering and give them a hand without saying a word. They're selfless, yet don't lose sight of their own needs. They're also quite objective and try to focus on dealing with things in the best way possible. And I would say that is probably mostly true, I think, about me. I am very concerned about other people's needs. I am a very empathetic person. I sometimes do struggle at seeing when someone is suffering. Sometimes I will take something as, are they having a bad day? And they are not having a bad day. It's just me kind of like, piecing things together. But I will ask. That I will say that's a difference. It says give them a hand without saying a word. I will usually ask. Uh, they're selfless yet don't lose sight of their own needs. That's maybe sometimes true, sometimes not true. That's maybe I feel like well, actually, now that I think about it, I do consider my own needs. I definitely put other people's first, though. They're also quite objective and try to focus on dealing with things in the best way possible. I think that is fairly true. I think if I know something is wrong or something needs to get done, I will try to be like, I will try to figure out, how do we do this? Like, how can I be of help and be the best help ever? Yeah. For example, when YV lost Bill on the trip, we backtracked to find Bill. Even though we thought we knew where Bill was lost. Bill is a teddy bear. I feel like I needed to clarify that because it sounds like we lost a human. Even though we backtracked where every place we had been in the past 24 hours. And one of those places was a beach. And so, like, one of the things that I did while we were... Yeah, because I was like, who the heck is Bill? Yeah. So YV and I went on a road trip, and YV brought a very beloved teddy bear and ended up losing him on the trip, unfortunately. But we backtracked, and one of the things that... like to show this part of my personality, he went and looked in one area. While he was doing that, I performed a comb maneuver, going through the entire parking lot, where basically, like, you know how people, if they're looking for like a lost person, they like link hands and like they walk up an area, and it's basically like you're responsible for your like zone. Because it was just me, I would literally go up like a segment, and then I would just shift a little bit, and then I'd go down, and then I'd shift a little bit, and then I'd go back up. And I did that through the all of the grassy areas of the parking lot. Trying to see, and to me, I was like, this is the need. We have to find Bill. How do I do that in this case to make sure we don't miss a spot? I'm going to, the objective way to do this is going to be a co-maneuver. We're not gonna no area unlooked. My mom is a type 2. I feel like probably I would imagine there's a lot of like nurturing people who are probably in that. So yeah, that's honestly what it was. Unfortunately, we did not find him on the trip, which was very sad. It was very unfortunate, and I probably put a damper on the rest of our road trip. But understandable. Bill was YV's since he was 1 year old, so a totally understandable thing. But okay, it says the 2-wing-1 subtype would leave the pan on the stove to go help anyone that needs help. I would be concerned about that, but probably true. Taking care of others feels natural to them. It comes from their soul, and they can't avoid that. They're helpful and welcoming to the point that they may put themselves last. However, the influence of the 1, because again, it's like 2-wing-1, so the influence of the 1 personality, they get a little more self-centered. They're ready to help others, but they will turn off the stove first to avoid burning the food. That's the most specific attribute of the Enneagram Type 2 Wing 1. They can be available to others without forgetting about themselves. They know that taking care of themselves allows them to take better care of others. They're not a part of the same triad, which we kind of mentioned, unlike 2 Wing 3. So they can be slightly influenced by the gut, which makes them a little more self-protective when giving themselves to others. That probably seems fair, and I can see where they're dividing, because from what I read, the 2 Wing 3 is the host. So I imagine what they're saying is like the host personality will probably like completely deny themselves for the sake of others, to be a good host, if you will. She buys presents for everyone and everyone that they're related to. Oh, that's so nice. That's very generous of them. That's very kind. I love that. 2's fears and desires. 2 Wing 1's biggest fear is not feeling loved, and they constantly honor whom they love. Although they reject affection in 1,000 different ways, they need to feel loved back. They build security by serving others and being worthy of love. The 2 Wing 1 is a skilled reader of other people's feelings. As they scan others, they feel compelled to satisfy them while not forgetting their own feelings. This type can be an important backbone in both relationships and conflicts, so it's important to show them... This type can be an important backbone in both relationships and conflicts, so it's important to show them gratitude and attention. So, she finished the wing test, and she's a Wing 3. Okay, I was going to say that kind of makes sense with what you described with buying presents for everyone, where I would say I don't buy presents for everyone, but the presents that I buy for people are, like, incredibly detailed and heartfelt, and, like, it's because I think they personally would really like. I put a lot of effort into gifts. You can ask YV, as much as he literally hates that about me. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I would say this is very true. I think the fear thing is probably very accurate about me. Let's see. Is there anything that I push back on? They build security by serving others and being worthy of love. Oh, I was going to say there are some of the different types. Their fear paragraph is read very similarly. Or is written very similarly. But there are some key differences in, like, there are other types where their fear might be not feeling loved, but it's the why that is, like, different. Or the how, like, for 2's, it's being, like, worthy of love, and that other people see them as being worthy. Whereas, like, I can't remember which other type, but it says that it's, like, their skill. Like, they want their... I assume it's like their skills, their effectiveness, their whatever. That is the thing that they use to, like, they want people to value. And if people don't value that, then they fear that they're not being, you know, that they're not loved because of that or whatever. She doesn't care if she can't walk or can't breathe. She's going to make sure you're happy. That is very, like... That is very lovely. It is I can imagine it's one of those things. Why they said then the 2 Wing 3 will put others way before themselves, before they, you know, before they take care of themselves. But they need people to take care of them and make sure that they are taking care of themselves. Basic desire. 2 Wing 1's deepest desire is to be loved, to feel accepted and surrounded by affection. Life is intense and full of ups and downs, and everybody deals with it and goes through the pain in different ways. However, if they could, Enneagram Type 2 Wing 1's would save those dark hours for you. They know how it feels, and their concern comes from their strong empathy. They end up loving others in an unconditional way, as they should love themselves. That's why there are so many expectations in relationships. So, like, I would say that's probably very true. And here I am. I know you're taking good care of her. um, yeah, I would say this is true about me. I think I am very much like, uh, you know, if I think what they're saying here is like the reason why like two wing ones want to be, want to be loved. That's their deepest desire, and feel accepted and surrounded by affection. Uh, and because they want that, they give that to other people. But specifically, I think it's uh, because this is the more introverted type or personality or whatever. It's like individuals versus I'm sure 2-wing 3 says something similar, but it's going to be about like wanting to feel appreciated by the group and wanting to feel like everyone appreciates their efforts. Where I'm more concerned about, well, you know, how do my besties know I love them? Do they know, like, are they okay? Do they feel cared for? I want them to make sure that they don't ever doubt that they are loved. Like that's sort of the mentality. I think that it's going there, which I would say is very accurate about me. Or at least that's where, reading this, that's what I see in myself. Strengths. 2-wing 1's strength is helping boost other people's strengths. The unconditional support they offer is essential to make other people feel accompanied and secure. They know exactly what they need to do in any situation, to please others and calm things down. They usually overload themselves to release others from pressure. It's important to keep an eye on this. So 2-wing 1 can get help when they need it and can be prevented from getting involved in too many things at a time. They will do it happily, but it's always good that others ask them about their needs and offer to share the workload with them. I could imagine reading this. I've said this before, that like when I was younger, I was more outgoing and more otterish, if we're going back to that other analogy, and more like people pleasing. At some point, I learned to say no a lot. And I say no a lot now. And I think that's maybe like where it's saying they usually overload themselves to release others from pressure. I think I still do that to an extent, but I do that much less so. I feel less pressure to do that. Because a long time ago, someone said, every time you say yes to something, because I think I used to say yes to everything. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So like, if you fill up your calendar by saying yes to everything, you're technically saying no to other opportunities. You're saying no to spending time by yourself. You're saying no to doing something for yourself. So I say no a lot now. So like, I feel like I am better at like not overloading myself, but that can still be an issue. Weaknesses. 2-wing 1 main weakness is their silence. As they are unconditionally supportive, they may postpone their own things sometimes. Type 1's influence brings some objectivity and self-awareness, but they're still very selfless. 2-wing 1 types will constantly show affection and pay attention to others, but that loving style might not always be aligned with other people's loving styles. If not acknowledged, they feel undervalued and not worthy enough. It's important to learn how others show affection, to reciprocate it and show affection back. And I think that seems generally true of me. Let's see. Yeah, and then it goes into like how to work with them. They feel motivated with others when others acknowledge their selflessness and appreciate their affection, but their energy may drop when they have a response and their feelings. But their energy may drop when they have a response and their feelings are taken into account. What? But they're... When they have a response? Is there a typo somewhere in here? I feel like some of this doesn't make sense. Some soft atmospheres with a great dose of recognition can make everyone smile, but they will especially when, wow. Soft atmospheres will make two winged ones thrive. This sentence, hold on. They feel motivated when others acknowledge their selflessness and appreciate their affection, but their energy may drop when they have a response and their feelings are taken into account. I'm not sure if I understand what they're saying here. They can get stressed out when they feel lonely and when solving problems and nobody seems to notice they're running out of time. As they always care about other people's problems, they may drop some personal projects, so it's important to set deadlines and make sure they understand how important their duties are. I think that is fair. Apparently, the job types are nonprofit leader, a counselor, hospice nurse, veterinarian, school psychologist, humanitarian, religious leader, and advisor. Anything that involves giving relief and support to other living beings could be their ideal job. I think, like, I definitely see this. I also was interested in being a counselor for a bit. I worked in healthcare for a little bit. But I feel like the way I'm in marketing, I am much better at marketing other people than I am marketing myself. And I feel like that's because of, like, I'm much better at giving support to people and learning how to, like, you know, our religious leader. I am more likely to, like, I'm very good at, like, seeing the strengths of other people and being like, all right, let's highlight this. Let's focus on this for the, you know, let's in marketing wise, let's do this, that, or the other, you know, like, I'm much better at, like, lifting someone up in, like, a, like, all right, let's show these good things and whatever. So I don't know. I think that's, you know, I would say that's, like, it's probably why I'm a good mod for YV. Why I do that very well is because I think I'm very good at, like, you know, supporting, taking care of things, seeing what needs to get done, etc. I don't know. You could ask him. He could say I'm terrible. That could be a thing. But let's get into the game. We have to go to the Mary-Kate and Ashtwin planets. Well, it did kind of. I mean, it says, it said at the very beginning, where is it? I minimized the window. Where was that? Although they reject affection in 1,000 different ways, they need to feel loved back. So yes. But I think it's because, very accurate. But the thing is that, like, it's interesting, because I think there's a lot of reasons I do that, but I think their reasoning for that is that twos are so others focused that they don't care about that. I think for me personally, there are many reasons for that. That would be, I would say, not necessarily that might not be related to what the personality test says. Okay. Ember Twin. There's so much. The negative time interval measured at the White Hole Station was further investigated at the High Energy Lab in the canyon at Ember Twin's equator. In the canyon, the negative time interval measured... Right. Was further investigated at the High Energy Lab. So the High Energy Lab is in the canyon. The High Energy Lab can only be accessed by a path from the Sunless City. I found a cave with an anglerfish fossil inside, but the opening is only big enough for my scout. The Nomai learned how to evade anglerfish, theoretically at least, by studying the anglerfish fossil they found on Ember Twin. Nomai children used to play a game in the fossil fish cave. There's a way to enter fossil fish cave from Stepping Stone Cave. Okay. The entrance from Stepping Stone Cave is hard to see unless the anglerfish is fed a light first. Chert has set up their astronomy gear on the North Pole of Ember Twin. Right. Chert has spotted an unusually high number of supernovae. Escape pod number 2. One of the 3 Nomai escape pods that crashed in our solar system. All 3 escape pods were launched from something called the Vessel, which was badly damaged. A Nomai city built into the walls of a huge underground cavern. The city is divided vertically into 4 districts. There's more to explore here. Quantum Moon Locator. A Nomai device created to track the Quantum Moon's location. The Nomai hypothesized that the Quantum Moon might be a form of macroscopic quantum mechanics. The Quantum Moon travels to a total of 5 locations. Wrong! 6. Gravity Cannon. A huge cylindrical structure that generates a strong upward gravity field. Recalled a Nomai shuttle from the interloper. Quantum Signal. The Nomai detected a quantum signal coming from somewhere on the Hourglass Twins. Okay. Central chamber inside Ashtwin was physically sealed off by an immensely thick protective shell. Every memory recorded by a Nomai statue is transmitted to a corresponding storage unit within Ashtwin. So we need to investigate the canyon and the Sunless City, which I kind of wonder, I can't remember. I mean, it led to... Whoops. Uh-oh. Started flying, immediately unbuckled. We were able to... we were able to... get to the Sunless City from the cannon thing. Wait. Oh gosh. Wait a minute. Where did that go? Where was the cannon? I just saw it a second ago. Right before I crashed. Oh, there it is. Yep. And that's as good enough of a landing for me as any. we get here? Is there another door, but it's like lower and it's like quickly filled in by sand or something? How did I get in here? Didn't we what? How did we? Remember, kids, we parked on the rock wall. Yeah. Ow. How did we? I'm confident we didn't fly in. Where's the? Is there not another entrance? Did I make this up? No, I'm just wasting time. How did I get in? Because I feel like... Because we came in from the inside. Because I went up from the Sunless City. I'm pretty sure that's how I got here. Maybe I'm misremembering. It's fairly confident, though. I mean, obviously we can't go through there. Well. Oh, unless... I mean, is the entrance like... Also, yeah, I kind of am like, dreading, oh boy. Ah! I'm dreading, oh, actually, we're zooming. Having to go through, oh, wow, we like looped that pretty fast. It says it's in, there's an entrance in the canyon. Having to go through the caves again. Not looking forward to it. We actually haven't landed on it yet. Oh, it's in. Maybe it's already buried. Maybe you have to like go there first or something. Oh. Also my oxygen. Where's my ship? There's no way I'm gonna be able to get up there. Oh, actually. We're fine. Wait. I can't. No! Who parked up there? Unbelievable. That's a shame. Madrigal, welcome in. How are you? That's a shame. Can't believe someone would park like that. We gotta go back. Okay. Right, first day back had its ups and downs. No! What did, how are the kids and all of that? Okay, so no entrance through there. I'm curious. The sand hasn't even started pouring down yet. I wonder if we can find... It's gonna, like, start right on top of me, isn't it? Whoa! Is this... Uh-oh. This looks like exactly where it's gonna start. I'm scared. Oh no, there is some sand. Okay. It's starting. I don't see... I'm looking for, like, a door. Bruce, welcome in. How are you? I see nothing. Eh. Have I done a loop? I think I've done a loop. I feel like I'm about to run out of juice. Five of my 6 classes were pretty good. That's good. That's good to hear. Were they, like, still on, like, holiday excitement, or, like... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Ah! This is where we died. Good, good. Me and my friend, we're just talking about running away to Alaska. Oh no, what are you running away from? What are you running away from? From life, fair. Most of them were pretty tired today, actually. Well, that's good. That's probably, you know, maybe better than hyperactive. I'd rather wait to Alaska. Fair. It's very cold here right now. I want to work in the mines. Do we have mines? We might. I think, or they've talked about mines or something. Let's land on the sand planet. Nope. There you go. Are they active? I know there's a lot of protesting about mines, but not sure. Yeah, I don't know. The bruised blue yearns for the mines. So if we're here long enough, those buildings are going to show up. Yeah. It'd be funny if I'm like directly on top of it. There was one thing that was like poking out. I'm assuming if I just avoid like this line here, I don't have to worry about being jettisoned up into the thing. Yeah, but I figured I'd look, because we haven't really been on here. Okay, the sand has started. That's what I saw from space. Oh! Oh, this goes up. Interesting. It's like this thing. I wonder where I should be. Let's stand atop here. Wait. My ship's over there. How did that happen? Oh, well, I guess it gets like... because it's going that way. Yeah, it's currently bare. We're not going back. Yep, that's a common exclamation when playing Outer Wilds, yeah. That's funny that I parked it basically right on the line then, I guess. Because it seems to follow the same, like, axis or whatever. Oh, look, there's the thing. Hello. Bye-bye. It's the meteor from Final Fantasy VII. This logo. Well, I also might run out of oxygen before all these unbury. It's a little bit of a shame. This neat to watch the sand go down, though. I'm mostly avoiding part of the reason why we're here is I'm mostly avoiding having to go through the caves again. I just don't want to go through the caves again. I'm in the background cleaning house and lurking. Thank you so much for the lurk. I appreciate it, Bruised. Is the sand stopping? What is that? No, there's still more to do. It just looks like there's something at the base of that. But maybe maybe that's just a shadow. Maybe it's just a shadow of the planet. It's like, well, no, because the sun's there now. What is that? Is that something? I'm very high up. What am I looking at here? Is that just a graphical thing? I think it's just a graphical. Oh gosh. I think it's just a graphical thing. Yeah. It looks fine now. Well, our oxygen is, not great. Got any trees over here? Oh. Oh. Whee. Maybe there isn't any story crucial things hidden in the cave. Nah. Surely not. Uh-oh. Well, I made a mistake. Oh. Hello. What this? Got any trees in here? Oh. Wait. Does a cactus count as a tree? No, it doesn't. Oh, it doesn't have a thing. Well, that's a shame. Okay, so maybe we do let it. Maybe we do set it at a campfire. Well, they don't seem to have anything ever. If it were really me, I'd go through their pockets, but. But now I'm the dead guy on the ground. That doesn't sound like a type 2. Well, his feelings are invalid because he's dead. He has no feelings anymore. He is no longer. I only care if, I can only care if you're alive, I suppose. Okay. So we'll go there, sit at a campfire for a smidge, and then, Try to see if we can find some stuff. Where is that campfire? Where be the smoke? Hello? Oh, there it is. Roll. Nope. There we go. Oh no! Well, we should probably park up here. Make more sense. Ew. Wait, have we not talked to this person? Wait. No, but we did. Because it's... Wait, no, but he's a little egg guy. Didn't we? I have a question for you. See, we talked to him before. Maybe I just didn't scan him. Yeah, because he told us about the supernova. We've talked to him. We just didn't look at our thing. Found your notes about the Idle Rock's main crater. But I mentioned may have a frozen solid or partially made of ice like a much cooler giant steep. We did. Chert is the best egg. He certainly is the best egg. He's a good egg. Eventually, the planet shattered completely. Yeah, we for sure talked to Chert. Yes, I remember. Yes, because I remember this. I remember this. Anyway, I don't have to talk to you. We just didn't. Goes off. Is that seconds? Yes. Right? Feels like it's going by very fast. Rebeck. The frog game you posted looks very cute and fun. Yeah, that's the game we're playing next week. So I hope to finish this before then. How are we? No. I doze off. Yeah, I shared a story of the game that we're gonna play next week. I am very excited. Frog game? Yeah, there's a game called Big Hops that's coming out on Monday of next week. It's a platformer game, and it looks very cute. It has some really cool ideas. Very excited. I believe we're getting a code for it. So that'll also be nice. Is any of that? Yeah, I guess we can go now. Look, there's that station. Okay, where are you? There you are. Ah. a little too close for comfort to the sand pillar. Not my intention. Where was... I just saw you. This thing. Meow. Oh. Oh. Here's our first delivery. Yarrow, 1 warp core, fresh from the Black Hole Forge. That's what we need to get into... Right? Is that... Didn't they say that's what we needed to get the fish? Here's our first delivery. 1 warp core fresh from Black Hole Forge. Root is installing this core's sibling on Brittle Hollow as I write this. My gratitude, Clary. With this, the Ashtwin project is underway. I confess, I'm deeply curious about what you and Poke found on the Whitehole station that started this project. Should I visit sometime to learn more? I recommend you do. The Whitehole station is the model for the towers being built for the Ashtwin project, so a visit to the station would be doubly useful. I suppose, more precisely, I would like to visit the Whitehole station with you, Clary. I wish I could wait here for you to arrive, but the forge and my unfinished work there is calling. I'll return with more materials soon. I'd be happy to explain our findings. Yarrow, stop using the scroll wall to flirt with my sister in romantic matters. Her density rivals a neutron star, and go meet her on the Whitehole station. Dang, that's rude. Oh gosh. This is very pretty. I like the light. Is that a window? It is. Okay. So this... Ah! He looks so close. Oh. We are... Where are we? Oh, gosh. Oops. Let's wait for another 360. I've been taking a break from Alan Wake and playing Power Wash Sim. I'm struggling a bit with Alan Wake. I need a melee weapon, not a gun. Oh, no. Is there an easy mode in Alan Wake? Because that's probably what we're going to play it in, if there is. If I recall, these have to like line up with something, and then that's when you can teleport. There isn't? Oh, wait a minute. What? Is this the Black Hole Forge? It probably is. Oh, that's a shame. So probably no jumping. That's what I'm gonna... Supposedly that's what I selected, but it still takes many shots to take something down. I never play games that use guns. Fair. I did hear that you can, like, run past a lot of stuff in Alan Wake. Like... Easy mode back in the day was just normal. Fair. Good luck with that. It's okay. Let's do that again. There you are. First with the campfire. Probably 2 you could probably run past. Oh, really? I think I just remember when I was looking for easy mode, because we talked about it once and I searched it. I feel like I remember people saying, like, that you can just, like, there's a lot of things you can keep running by and just not fight or something. Bound Lake 1 specifically had a way that you can't escape. Oh, really? Okay. We'll see when we get there. Unless you're just really good at dodging. Ah, fair. Oh, gosh. I often am like, let me go up, and I end up just going, I end up pressing the dive. Whoops. I think it confuses me that it's circle to unbuckle, square to buckle, when I expect it to be the same button. And so I often end up getting, like, I don't know. I get confused. The gun takes forever to reload, and you can only fire once or twice before you have to reload, and I keep dying in the same spot where you're being attacked by multiple things at the same time. Aww. That doesn't sound fun. Hopefully we don't have too much trouble with it. A couple that I mod for on YouTube struggled a lot in the beginning of the game, but then somehow he completed the hardest fight in the game first try. Oh boy. Very curious. It'll be fun to play through those. Can't wait for Control 2. Control 2 will be excellent. Yeah, that'll be very interesting. The combat looks very different. Okay. We're like almost there, right? Yeah. We have to run ads, so let's go ahead and do that before we hop over there. So friends, if you need to stand up, stretch, etc., grab a snack, grab a drink. Now's a perfect time to go do so. And we will be RB.
This is your time, Jetpack Gang. Stand up, move around, grab a snack, hydrate. The stream will resume in just a few minutes.
And welcome back, everybody. Okay. It's probably good enough. Where did I park? Whee! Ow. Okay. We're going... Where was I? This is the... Yeah. Okay. No jumping, probably. Okay. Wow. Hold on. Departure time, arrival time. Return warp status charge. Step onto warp receiver platform to activate the return warp. Okay. Black hole forge. Left 30 meters. Ah. Exit to surface. Okay. Oh, I see. It's the, wow. Yeah, I realized. These are also, this is the special flooring. What's this? Be cautious near the boarding area while the black hole forge is in operation. Okay. That's just a little pool. Is this like... Oh, right. That makes sense. Oh, no. Well. I think we missed. I think we missed our... I think we missed our the platform that we needed to land on. Oh boy. I also didn't even think about the fact that we were like hurtling towards that thing, so like chances are... I actually don't remember a lot about it. Fair. I know nothing about it, so. Actually, I was about to read that twice. Where are you? I wonder if he'd be, well. It might be faster for me to just camp right when we wake up, and then just go to that one instead of going here, landing, going to the campfire. You know? There it is. Oh. Just barely. Nope. No. Why is it... It should be... Wait, oh, I don't have my suit. That's why I did that. Well... Good thing I did that. I did that to feel alive, you know. Sometimes you have to remember. Sometimes you just gotta do that. Special experience to leave the ship without the suit and make it back. Yeah, it is actually, because I've died many times without it. Because there have been multiple times where I've just hopped in my ship and then immediately gotten out and been like, oh, I'm dead. Right. 8 times, but who's counting? It sounds about right. That sounds like me. Well, I should really head to bed. Have a good night. Yeah, thank you for being here. I hope you have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you get some good sleep. As a reminder for everybody, because I forgot to mention this, my birthday stream is on Friday. YV is going to be here to hang out with me. Play some We Were Here Together. It should be a fun time. Bye! Oh, that's so good. Okay. I'm already wearing my suit. It's the one on the left here, right? I will always unbuckle and rebuckle. Or is it? Oh, wait. Is it you? No, this was the first one we went to. So this is a different one. I wonder where this one goes to. We could see. Is he playing a stream? No, I don't think so. No, I think it'll just be me. You probably could because it's like technically it's not a split screen game. So that way you guys could see his screen, but I don't think he plans to. No, I'm afraid to jump. Turn, right. Where am I? Is this Timber Hearth? It is. Okay. So, it's not as important. Hello? Oh gosh! Well. That's unfortunate. That was so unlucky. Is this... what this? Friends, if you find any sign of Coleus, I implore you to tell me he vanished without a trace during our research trip and has been missing ever since. Valori, some of us from the Sunless City are here to help or search for Coleus. Can you tell us more about your expedition? You have my gratitude, Burr. Coleus and I were studying the cave's geology. We hope to learn more about a unique and wandering rock that visits several different caves in the area. He disappeared... wait. Where was Coleus lost? He disappeared in the cave at the bottom of the dry lake bed at the North Pole. Disappeared in the cave at the bottom of the dry lake bed at the North Pole. It happened in an instant without warning. I turned away from Coleus to examine a sample, and when I turned back, he simply wasn't there anymore. He had a limited supply of air. I'm afraid for him. Hypothesis, we will learn more by examining the northern lake bed where Coleus disappeared. Search quickly, everyone. We have no time to squander. Assuming it's a teleport. He got teleported? We already looked at that. I hate the caves. They were just so... Oh, make sure you go here and then take a right. Don't get lost. Uh-oh. In fact, actually, though, the entrance that we went through might already be covered up. Where those trees were. I'm not sure if I remember exactly where that was. But it's a puzzle, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I guess I probably should have, there you go. Scan it. Okay. It's just so confusing. Yeah, I think we've missed that. So I don't know if we'll be able to. Plus, I have like no fuel. Yeah, I think we're gonna restart. Yep. Again! This time we're gonna sleep at the campfire that's at the very beginning. I wonder how this works. Is the universe just going faster right now? Or does everything load in where it's supposed to be when you stop sleeping? Okay. We're an Ashtwin. There I am. I pretty much now will okay, so we need to wait longer than 6 minutes. I now like I go forward and press the right trigger. That seems to help give me enough clearance to not hit anything. That is what I've learned. Where is the building? I assume we'll look more at this. So we haven't really seen this platform. Ah, okay. So maybe I need to wait 10 minutes. Or maybe 7 or something. Did we look at this? Oh, that's this guy. Hello. Is this what took us? There's so many. There's a scrolly thingy. What is this? I think so. This took us to black hole, right? I don't think we've used this. They all look the same to me. Good thing there's glass. Oh. Oh. Yes? Yeah. I think we use this one. Pretty sure. I think we use this one too, but I think this is the black hole forge. We might as well see. See if we can land on it correctly this time. Into the light. It's cool that we have just some technology that can teleport this thing back to us infinitely. Do you know what's making you teleport? Like, the things have to be aligned. Like it points to a specific place or something. I don't know which places go where. I'm just kind of like, doop-de-doo, waiting for it to send me somewhere. But I know I'm waiting for it to, like, line up with something. Right? No. Let me go! Well, we just wasted a lot of juice. I wonder if we missed it. I wonder if it's like as the sand thing is happening. Because that seems rude and purposeful. Unfortunately, I've used up so much oxygen. I think my ship is on the other planet, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there were any trees. Why does cactus not give me oxygen? I blame cactus. Just write it out. Does this provide light? I've just realized. Oh, it does, doesn't it? Okay. Oh yeah, my ship is up there. Is it doing anything? It's not lit up. Why not? Well, here we die. It is a light source. Okay. And likely we'll just do one more loop and then we'll stop here. We does. Confusing. I wish falling asleep were that easy IRL. That would be nice. Did you ever go into the locked facility on the Twins? I couldn't tell you. We went somewhere. We were in the sunken city or whatever. I remember we followed the wire to it, but did we go? I don't know. I don't know if we did. If it leads to the sunken city, maybe. If it doesn't, I don't know. Put on the suit. Okay. There you are. Head toward Ashtwin. Actually, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realize there were two of those. I kept thinking we were passing the same one. Lol, 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 lol. Did we look at... What is this? Okay, this is where I just died. But what is... What these? Is this the other place that I was just at? Oh no, this door is locked. Teleport. There's a thing there. Ruh-roh. Give it room. Oh, there's the thing there. Yep. Some time has passed since I checked in with you, Pi. How are you and Idea progressing with the Sun Station plans? Presently, my assessment is that our plan will either fail explosively or succeed explosively. Pi, you know I don't find that funny. Or, this is probably first. How curious, Raimi thinks I'm a gas, and I don't recall requesting that you monitor this conversation. I don't see what state of matter you are has to do with this. A gas, la 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 la. And I don't recall supporting the Sun Station's construction, but here we are. Hypothesis time spent away from the station be beneficial to you both. I'm immensely interested in testing your hypothesis, Hero. That, at least, we can agree on. We should break that. That make me happy. Oh, no. Why is this like this? There's a reason they call you Jet. It's not this. Oh boy, yeah. I think we'll stop there. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. But I feel like I have to. Oh no. Oh no. No, we'll figure this out more tomorrow. They're forcing me to. They give me no choice. I have to do it. Ugh. But friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for chatting Enneagram stuff. That was very fun. We will be back tomorrow with more. Wednesday we'll be playing. We'll be doing the Australia trip recap on Wednesday. Thursday, we'll be back more with this, assuming we haven't finished it. And then Friday's my birthday stream. Together, we were here together. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. We'll be hanging out with Yvy.
Dang.
Thank you for the 100 bits, Madrigal. We were here together. It'll be very fun. Very excited. Should be a good time. But anyway, friends, that is it for us today. Nulgar, thank you for the 3 stream streak, and Yimit for the 220. Appreciate all of you guys chatting, hanging, lounging. What if we don't beat it? We'll probably try this weekend then, because I think I want it done by Monday, because Monday's when Big Hops comes out. So we have Tuesday and Thursday to try to beat it. If not, we will do Saturday or Sunday probably. Anyway, that's it for us today, friends. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye!